Hey guys, it's Tim here, and today I'll be reviewing AudGram, which is a platform that allows you to take any MP3 or audio and create an audiogram or a podcast, visual podcast from that MP3 file. It also allows you to generate podcasts with AI voices or audiograms with AI voices, and much more. You can create visual appealing videos with captions, with wave bars, with time bars and more. I think the best thing to do is to just show you how the software works. In case you're interested, there's a link in the description where you can find more information on my website about the pricing, also some bonuses that you're going to get if you pick this up through my link. So make sure to check that out. For now, let's dive into it and let me show you how AudGram works. So right now I'm logged into the dashboard, and to get started, you simply click on Create New here, where you can create your first AudGram. So I'm going to call this episode number 6 and go to the wizard. So inside of the wizard, you simply go through the top steps here that you're seeing at the top, and that starts by selecting your audio. Now, on this screen, you have two options. You can upload your own audio file by selecting your audio file. So when I click on select here, I can upload my MP3 or WAV file. So right now it's preparing my file to create the AudGram. And once this is done, it's going to take me to the next step here. This is my podcast about AudGram. So you can see it plays automatically here. I can listen to the MP3 that I've uploaded. And on this screen, I can also set the duration. I can cut parts out of this video. So I can say, for example, I only want to use this part of my podcast. You can drag and drop this. You can listen to it and you can cut it in here. There's also a duration. When I click this option here, you can see that it has pre-configured times for Instagram Reel Story posts, or for Facebook Reel Story of post, or for Twitter. And you can choose this. For example, if you want to do a story on TikTok of 15 seconds, you simply select 15, and now it cuts out exactly 15 seconds, and you can decide which part of your audio you would like to use. You can also say select full clip, and then it's going to use all of your audio. This is the first option. I can also go back and I can choose the other option here. So I first need to delete my audio file here, and then I can go for the second option, which is pasting your own text. So if you have a script that you'd like to use to create AI voices for, you can paste that script into this field here. Now, if you do not have a script, you can also use the script generator here, and you can type your prompt, what kind of podcast you would like to create. So in this case, let's write a script for a podcast about how to start an online business. And let's say this should be about 2 minutes. And I'm going to click on generate. And now it's writing a podcast script of 2 minutes for me that I can use to create my first AudGram. It's going to take a little while. And there you go. Now I got my script here. And if I like it, I can use it. I can also modify it. I can type anything in here. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to click on next here. But first, I need to select my voice. So when I scroll down here, there are multiple voices that I can choose from. So let me show them to you.
This is sample voice generated from this voice. Does it look?
So here we got Michelle.
This is sample voice generated from this voice.
Jenny.
This is sample voice generated from this voice.
Let's say we want to use.
Does it look good?
We want to use Jenny. Then we click on next step. And it's going to generate a preview for us. So basically what it's doing now, it's going to generate the voice for us similar to the uploaded voice. You see this? So now we can listen to it here. Let's go to the start.
Hello, aspiring entrepreneurs, and welcome to our quick guide on how to launch your own online business.
And again, you can choose the part that you'd like to use in here. So for demo purposes, I'm going to keep it the way it is right now. And I'm going to click next. By the way, you can choose to have captions on or off. I don't see why you should not have captions on, because it's very appealing to look at. So I'm going to click next here. And on this timeline, you can also decide to create a podcast with multiple people in it. So you could have the podcast host and you can have a guest. So you could write a script for a host and a guest. And basically what you can do here, you can decide to go to the next step immediately. Or what you can do is you can select parts of the script. So let's say this part of the script is the podcast host. So you're going to click on AI voices here. And now you can see here, this first part that we just selected, we can select the host. So let's say Stefan is the host. We're going to select Stefan for this part of the audio. Then let's say the second part here is for the guest. We click on AI voices again. And look at this. This is the second part. So now we can select our guest. So let's say Michelle is our guest. So we could do that for each and every line. So let's say the next part here is for the host again. We can click on AI voices and now we can see this part in here. So we can say Stefan again. Another option, if you do not like to work with AI voices or you want to mix your voice with an AI voice, is you can say, for example, here, select this part. So let's say we started from the start. You can select this part and you can say record. So when I click on record here, you can see now that I can record this part here at the right side. I can click on record and it will record that part and use that part on the video that it's going to create. So that's an option. Another option here is I can select a part here and I can click on add file. And now I can upload my own file here for the final part. So you have multiple options. If you already have an MP3, you can upload that. If you want to record your voice, you can do that. So you can mix things between you and an AI, or you could use AI voices only. In this case, I'm going to do AI voices only. So let me reset this page. So now we have our script back with the original voice, and I'm simply going to click next here. And this brings us to the template page that we can choose from. So we have different templates. As you can see, there are many templates to choose from, and there are also some upgrades that gives you extra templates, etc. But here you can filter. So if you want to have 9:16 for TikTok, for example, or YouTube Shorts, you filter them in here and you can choose one of the templates. The same thing here for 16:9. If you want to have long form videos for YouTube, for example, you can select that part. Or maybe you want to have square for Instagram, you can select this option. I like to have the 9:16 option in here. And then you can choose and pick one of the templates that you like to use. So I like the top one here. I like this green one. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to select next. And on this screen, you can modify this video, what's on top of this video. So on the left side here, you see the design. And on the right side here, you have your customization. So first of all, when I scroll down here, you can see this waveform here. Now, when I click on waveform here, I can decide what kind of colors I'd like to use. So for example, if I like to have the wave color a different color, I can simply select the color in here. I can say, for example, I like to have the waveform color yellow here. And now it becomes yellow. And let's say I like the background color. I don't like to have green. I like to have black, for example. Check this out. Now the background of the waveform changes. I can also select another type of waveform. So if I like to have a waveform like this, you see it changes here. Or maybe you like to have a waveform like this, and it will go on the audio. In this case, I like this waveform. So I go back and I can choose the next option here, the caption. So the caption is the part that you're seeing right here. So you can change what's in here. This is just an example of the captions that will be generated from your audio from your AI voice. But you can change the colors in here. So from top to bottom here, you can change the main text color. So you can change everything that's in here. And you can simply go change it in here. So let's say you also want to have the font here yellow. You can change that as well. And you see the top becomes yellow in here. Also the text font, you can change the font type in here if you like to have another font type. You can decide to show or hide captions. So we're going to keep the captions definitely. And also the active captions color. So right now the active captions here are green. But let's say you want to change this to yellow as well. You can simply select yellow and look at this, it's changing. In this case, I like the green fonts. So we're going to keep it back to green here and keep it as it is. So this way you go step by step here. The next thing is media, which is this picture here. So what you can do, you can remove this file here. You can see it's completely removed. And you can upload your own picture. So for example, I can search for my own name. Let's see if I can find a picture on my computer of myself here. Let's say here, this picture, I want to use that. Now I'm uploading it and I can move it around in here. So this is a very big image, so I should create it smaller here, and you can resize it if you like to, as you can see. So this is not the perfect picture because it's a wide picture, but you got the idea, right? So you can move this around. So I'm gonna redo this, remove this one and replace it by a better one. And actually let me redo it by uploading the original here because that looks way better, right? So you can replace this image with your own branding, with your own podcast image if you like to. When we go to text, we can change everything that's in here. So now it says host by Adam Gilroy. So I could do here host by Tim Friedau. And then the same thing like secondary text, altcore and research. This is about marketing, starting your marketing business. A little bit shorter, marketing success, something like this. There we go. You can also add text if you like to add an extra line here. You can see that here. You can make this bigger. You can change the font, the sizes, etc. if you like to. In this case, I'm going to remove the text. So you could really change your design in here. So you go through this step by step. Now, if you don't like to have a visual audio in here, you can also choose to have a progress bar. So when I click on progress, you can see now it's a progress bar that is running in here. You can decide to have a different progress bar here. You can also change the active and inactive color. So for example, if you want to have the active color here to green, you can do that. And the inactive color to white. You see, now I like this better to have this green so that the green bar runs like this. Personally, I like to see this waveform because I love this waveform. I like this way better, but that's a personal preference. Then you can change the background. So right now it has uploaded a black background, but you can also remove this, for example, and you can change the color in here. So if you like to have a totally different color, let's say you want to have a yellow background here, you can do that. Now the background changes. Now in this case, we should go to a dark background, as you can see. We're changing it back. But let's say you want to have a little bit more grayish. You simply change it and now it's becoming more grayish, as you can see. But you can basically change everything of the design on the right side here. Also layers, if you like to move layers here, basically these are all layers. You can move that in here. And also one of the pro options is to add a watermark on top of your video. You can upload a watermark here. The same thing for your branding. So right now the branding is AudGram, but you can remove this AudGram branding and you can upload your own branding. So in this case, I could do my signature of Tim Friedau. So for example, this is my signature that I like to use. So I'm going to open this. And now you can see I can add my signature to my audiogram as well. You can see it here. I can move it. And now this looks really good, as you can see here. So final thing that you can do is you can add an intro and outro, which is also one of the upgrades, which allows you here to upload the intro of your podcast. For example, hey, welcome to this weekly podcast of blah, 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 with music behind. And then once this is finished, the rest of your podcast will run. The same thing for the outro can be done in here as well. In this case, I do not have an intro and outro, but you can add that if you like to. Once you're ready, click on next here, and now it will show you a summary of the credits that's being used. So it's 1 minute and 51 seconds. You're gonna need 1.85 credits. And let me show you how many credits you get, because I know this is a question that's definitely going to be asked on the front end. It's costing right now $37. And for the $37, you're going to get 300 credits each month, which is about 5 hours. So you can create 5 hours of podcasts every month. These credits will be renewed. Now, once you're happy, you can click on export and your video will be rendered. When I click OK, you can see right now, it will be in the queue here next to render. Now, there are options to get more credits. Again, check out the link in the description for more information about the upgrades. There's also a bundle deal available, which will give you everything for a one-time price. The bundle basically includes products. If you get one of the upgrades, you have to pay a monthly fee. You do not have to pay that monthly fee if you decide to take the whole bundle. Then you get extra credits without having to pay monthly. The front end, by the way, is also a one-time price. Now let me refresh the screen. And there you go. It's completed now. This took about 2 minutes to render. So let me download the file and show you what we just created. And there you go. So this is the podcast, and let me play the podcast so you can see what the end result looked like.
Hello, aspiring entrepreneurs, and welcome to our quick guide on how to launch your own online business. Starting an online enterprise has never been more accessible, and today
So you can see here the captions on top. You can see the active colors here, the green and the white as we configured it.
we're diving into the essentials to get you up and running. First off,
So this is one of the podcasts. Let me show you another one here. So this is here. Let me download this one so I can show it to you. There you go. Here, there's another one. Hey, it's Tim here. Yeah, sure. So if you want to get the answers to your recording, you simply choose one of the things that you see. So here I took the same picture here, and this was for a square video, which actually looked a lot better. I can make this bigger so you can see it better here. Did a pink here of active text in here. Did the black background here with the audiogram again. But you can see you can create different kind of templates with the software. Now, one of the things that I haven't pointed out is that you can create workspaces. So at the top here, you can see Tim's workspace. And inside of a workspace, you can create different kind of podcasts. So I have Tim podcasts in here, which are all these podcasts. But I can say, for example, if I create podcasts for another business, I can say business B, and I can upload an image in here. I can create podcasts in here and select OK. And now you can see that the screen is also empty. So I can create new podcasts for this business. I can switch back to my podcast. You can see the podcasts in here. And I can also create complete different workspaces here. So when I create a new workspace, I can say Tim's workspace 2. I'm going to click on create workspace. And now you can see that this complete workspace is empty. So I need to create my first podcast channel, client C, for example, and it must be shorter. Let's say podcast C here. This is my channel. It basically works exactly the same. So inside of podcast C here, I can create all different kind of podcasts. And again, I can add multiple podcasts in here as well. So I can create workspaces, and inside the workspace here, I can also create podcast channels. And inside of the podcast channels, I can create these podcasts or AudGrams or audiograms, just whatever you would like to call them. That's basically what AudGram is all about. If you like this video, can you do me a favor and hit the like button? It helps me to rank my videos and so that other people see my videos as well. And again, in case you're interested, check out the link in the description for more information about this product, about the pricing, some bonuses that you're going to get if you pick this up through my link. And also, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done yet. I do a lot of product reviews similar to products like you're seeing today. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified. And for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Talk soon. Cheers.